Very good morning. Good afternoon to all of you. It's audible. Okay. So I welcome you to RF simulation lab. This is our second lab. Okay, and the basics we have discussed earlier. So we all know HFSS software. You got HFSS, or you can see YouTube links. There are so many YouTube videos available for this. Okay, so start doing. It's very easy. Just once you need the practice, see how you have to design your project. Yes, very good. So please, Aditi, help others also. If other students are interested, help them so that they can have their own simulation of experiments. Voice is not clear. Just wait, I must check. Acha. Yes, is it clear now? Yes, it's clear. Voice is clear. And it and the screen is visible to all of you. So that day we have discussed some basics and we were discussing the steps to simplify setting the model units of measurements we have to select. Okay, then drawing a model. 3 axis, it's a 3D model you can design. On the axis you can select the coordinate system, you can select your dimensions, you can select the position where you want to keep your structure. Clear? Here one example is written. To draw the box with initial point to be origin and propagating along x-axis, we can design rectangular waveguide. The dimensions are this. Once you draw the box, the properties windows opens up. You can also specify the coordinates and size of the box here. Here you can mention the dimension and size, and on which axis you want to place your design, you can do that. Then you can assign the material. Different types of materials are available. For a particular box, you can assign material. Then you can select a material from the list, select air or vacuum for the whole box, as a rectangular waveguide is not filled with any dielectric. We all know rectangular waveguide is not filled with any of the dielectric material. We will just use air or vacuum. Click OK in assigning material. The material you choose is assigned to the object. Then assigning boundaries. Boundary conditions are essential for generation of electric and magnetic field in the waveguide. Boundary condition specifies a field behavior at the edges of the problem region and other interfaces. So these are the steps assigning boundaries. You can see these steps and you can follow. After assigning the boundaries, on the HFSS menu, click boundaries, select assign and choose finite conductivity. Choose finite conductivity because your device should be conductive. Assign finite conductivity to 4 phases excluding the port 1 and port 2 select phase. Port 1 and port 2 select phase. Port 1 and port 2 select phase. Clear. Assigning excitations. Excitation in HFSS are used to specify the sources of electromagnetic fields and charges, currents or voltages on objects or surfaces in the design. Assigning excitation is a two-step process. First, we will assign boundaries. Before that, we will assign material. Assign boundaries and assigning excitation. Boundaries assigning means to see the field behavior at the edges, but we won't assign boundaries to the port 1 and port 2 faces. That means from where the electric field intensity will move inside the device. Port 1 and port 2. Excitation is important because it is used to specify the sources of electromagnetic fields and charges, currents or voltages on objects or surfaces in the design. Assigning excitation is a two-step process. So these are the steps given to you. We will see practically, then it will become easier to understand. Okay, assign port A, assign ports B, assign on integration lines or terminal lines separately for each mode. पहले हम assign port करेंगे, then we can define the integration lines. This also we will see. You can see the steps which are given to you. Assigning ports. Then finally we will do solution setup, adaptive or frequency. Generally to plot the graphs we will use frequency sweep setup, like you will use semilograph papers to plot scattering matrix, return losses, impedance characteristics. We will use frequency sweep setup. Frequency sweep setup, adaptive solution setup. On the HFSS menu, point to analysis setup and then click add solution setup. The solution setup dialog box appears. It is divided among the following tabs. General includes general solution setting. Advanced includes advanced settings for mesh generation and adaptive analysis. This is generally not used. We will use the second one, that is frequency sweep setup. So this is our frequency sweep setup. In the HFSS menu, select analysis setup and then select add sweep. Edit sweep dialog box will open. Select discrete and enter the start and stop frequency. See, whenever we draw some frequency response, we have to put the frequencies. We have to see the gap. We are starting with kilohertz, hertz, megahertz. So we have to mention that. We have to mention the intermediate points. Okay, so here example is given. Since we are analyzing the first 4 modes of the WR90 waveguide, the cutoff frequency of the last mode is 16 gigahertz. Hence the stop frequency is a value which is higher than that. This is the cutoff frequency 16 gigahertz. So क्या होता है cutoff frequency के बाद we will give some margin so that the analysis will be done properly. So here the stop frequency will be 20 gigahertz. So you have to select this in frequency sweep setup. Then running a simulation. To validate your model, you have to check the model whether something is left, whether there is some error in the designing, whether the excitation is given or not, whether the boundary conditions are satisfied or not. So everything will be done by validate check. If this is okay, then your design is perfect. Click OK to analyze. On the HFSS menu, click Analyze. When a simulation is running, you can monitor the solution's progress in the progress window. There is one window in the downside. That window will show you the progress result. Once the simulation is completed, HFSS informs you in the message window. HFSS result solution data. These are the results. You can plot VSWR, S parameter, Y parameter, Z parameter, matrix data, excitations. You can plot the graphs also. Okay. You can create your report. Steps are given. Analyze and result. Analysis. Analyze the propagation constant for the first four modes. See, we know all the waveguide travel in their fundamental modes and some advanced modes. So here you can analyze in all the modes. Plots of propagation constant versus frequency. These are the modes, basic modes, TE, TM modes. You all have studied. You can visualize these modes. अब तक तुमने से theory में पढ़ा था. You have seen the diagram. Now here you will implement those things and you will visualize it in the 3D schematic and you can clear your concept very easily. So you can plot propagation constant versus frequency for this modes. Okay. Plot propagation constant versus frequency for the first four modes using theoretical values. Then you can plot field patterns for E and H fields. To view E and H field patterns, volts per meter, E field, H field. All the steps are given over here. Now we will start with the first experiment. Design a rectangular waveguide having a cutoff frequency of 6.56 gigahertz in the TE10 mode and observe the E and H field parameters for TE10 and TE20 modes inside the rectangular waveguide. See, we can draw WR90 waveguide. You can only do it for TE10 mode. That will be sufficient. So you have to visualize E and H field patterns for TE10 and TE20 mode. You can do it only for one. Write in the theory for both, perform it for one. So rectangular waveguide. A rectangular waveguide is a hollow metallic tube with a rectangular cross section. The conducting walls of the waveguide confine the electromagnetic fields and thereby guide the electromagnetic wave. The rectangular waveguide is basically characterized by its dimension. We all know in 3D we will have three dimensions: width, height and length. Okay, so A, B along X and Y direction, width A, height B along X and Y directions. B is the length of the waveguide in Z direction, which is shown in figure. So you can prepare a lab copy from the slides. You can, or from the notes, you can write the basic steps to perform simulation in HFSS software. ठीक है, 2 पेज में वो लिखोगे. After that, in lab manual, write down heading as experiment number 1. Okay, experiment number 1. In that, first rectangular waveguide, you should write the aim, then HFSS software, then rectangular waveguide theory, and draw this diagram in your copy. Finish drawing. Yes, students. So what this experiment tells is experiment provides a field pattern of various modes inside a rectangular waveguide. Okay, we know the waveguide are designed for the modes TE and TM. TE and TM क्या होता है? Who will tell? Transverse electric and transverse magnetic modes. Waveguide propagation modes depends on the operating wavelength, polarization and shape and size of the guides. The modes, hello, voice is clear or not? Sakshi, I think problem is there at your end. All are facing the same problem. Have you drawn this diagram? Draw it. A rectangular waveguide supports TM and TE modes but not TEM waves because we cannot define a unique voltage since there is only one conductor in a rectangular waveguide. The shape of the rectangular waveguide as a waveguide component is shown in this. I think in ME lab you have seen these components, hardwares you have seen. Now you have to perform on software, you have to design your own rectangular waveguide. A hollow rectangular waveguide has air filled inside it. This is hollow rectangular waveguide placed on Z axis right now. See this. A width of this is placed inner width. Okay, this is the inner width they are telling you. You can see in the diagram, you can draw this diagram also, and you can see that this inner width of this hollow area is A. Inner height of this hollow area where air is filled is B. Clear, students? And the height is Z. So we can observe the change in the field pattern, that is electric, and magnetic field patterns with the changes in modes inside a rectangular waveguide. One can observe the field patterns of various modes in X, Y, YZ, and XZ planes for different frequency bands. So this is my rectangular waveguide. Design formula. Write down in your lab copy the design formula. See, all this waveguide will work in your gigahertz range. We are designing microwave region we are working, and here we will design WR90 waveguide. You can write in your copy in your standard books of microwave engineering. There is a chart which tells you there are standard rectangular waveguides designed which are having specific measurements and dimensions. So design formula. The formula for cutoff wavelength inside a rectangular waveguide is given by the formula is not shown over here. See, you can write design formula. I will tell you lambda C, that is the cutoff wavelength. Lambda C, I don't have that symbol. Okay, lambda C equals to 2 upon 2 upon under root m by a square, put under root m by a to the power 2 plus, see it's the whole root, okay, whole root m by a square plus n by b. I'm writing, you can see that, square, okay. So lambda c is my cutoff, this lambda c cutoff wavelength. In lambda c you have to write in the subscript mn, lambda c लिखोगे, उसके नीचे लिखोगे mn, which is equal to 2 upon under root m by a square plus n by b square. Is it clear, this equation? Clear? Have you written this equation in your copy? Because we are writing the designing steps. Okay. So where A is the inside width, that is the longest dimension. B is the inside height, that is the shortest dimension. Small m and small n. लैम्डा c के नीचे तुम्हें स्क्रिप्ट में लिखना है mn. m is equal to number of half wavelength variations. Number of half wavelength variations of field in the a direction. N is number of half wavelength variations of field in the b direction. Lambda c is equal to cutoff wavelength, where c is the velocity of light. C is the velocity of light. And you all know the relationship between lambda and f. Who can write the equation? Relation between frequency and wavelength. Lambda c okay, yes, what is the relation between lambda and wavelength and frequency? Lambda c is equal to c upon fc, cutoff frequency. Wavelength is equal to, you all know wavelength is equal to c by f. Yes, fc is the cutoff frequency, so you can write that equation. Lambda c mn is equal to c upon fc, where c is the velocity of light and fc is the cutoff frequency. Now write down, we need to design a rectangular waveguide with cutoff frequency of 6.56 gigahertz in TE10 mode. So TE10 mode, the corresponding cutoff wavelength, see, cutoff wavelength is lambda c. We know c 3 into 10 to the power 8 and fc हम कह रहे हैं it is 6.56 gigahertz. So the corresponding cutoff wavelength is calculated to be 4.57 centimeters. See, you can check whether we are getting this or not. So the corresponding cutoff wavelength is Is it clear? So you will get 4.57 centimeter. For TE10 mode, M is 1 and N is 0. So what I will do now, I will put this thing in the above equation of lambda c. जो हमने first equation लिखी थी ना, you can mark first equation, second equation. You can mark first equation, second equation, okay? And now you can find out lambda c formula by putting this m and n values. 2 upon, you had 2 upon m by a the whole square. M is 1, okay? And you will get by that formula lambda c mn as 2a. Clear? Lambda c by formula number 1, you will get 2a. By formula number 2, you are getting the cutoff wavelength. Now by calculations, and for waveguide design, you can write this thing. Waveguide design on HFSS. Waveguide type is typical WR90, whose dimensions are x is equal to, see, by calculations we got this values, but we are designing WR90, so no need to write this. You can directly write this thing. A is equal to 2.286 centimeter, B 1.106 centimeter, and Z you can take any length, 3 times, 4 times of wavelength. So you took it at 14 centimeter. Okay. Mode is TE10 and TE20. TE20 के लिए you have to design again. So now the procedure, you can write this procedure in your copy. The first step is draw a box on HFSS having center position 0, 0, 0 and x size as 2.285 centimeter, y as 1.106 centimeter and z as 14 centimeter. Clear? Is it clear, students, still here? Select the faces. Now we will assign the material, we will assign excitation, we will assign the boundaries to the device. We will follow all the steps which we discussed earlier. Clear? Now after doing all those steps, what we will do, select the faces excluding the waveport faces of this rectangular waveguide and assign the boundary finite conductivity to all surfaces. Excluding the waveport, the in and out ports are to be excluded. That means it will have 6 faces. So to 4 faces I will assign the boundary condition, and that to finite conductivity. Next, assign the waveport on the 2 port faces and define 2 modes for each port. Yes, students, any doubt? Assign the waveport on the 2 port faces and define 2 modes for each port. Create the solution setup. Next, set solution frequency. Then add frequency sweep. Next step, we will perform practically also this experiment. Validate the design and further analyze it. Validate check is necessary. It will tell you whether there is any error in the designing or not. Further analyze it. Then observe the field patterns for TE10 and T mode in the port field display option in the project manager. Plot the corresponding E and H field patterns. Clear? Simulate the design and E and H field pattern. What happened? What you are writing? This we will see. First two experiment we'll see practically, and I will share the link also. This video I will upload. You can see it again. I think in next class we will do that, because today the time is just 5-6 minutes are left. So these steps we have to follow. Just write down all these steps in your copy, and the initial steps of HFSS software also, which we discussed earlier. These steps to set up an HFSS design follow this general procedure. Always you have to remember this. So just write down one lines of these steps in your copy, so that while performing you have to perform it in your laptop or desktop. It is not possible to perform on mobile phones. Pranjali attends the classes regularly. Avantika, what happened? Pranjali, you're too late. Why? We are just winding up our class. So you have to follow these steps, and it's not easy to remember. In the help menu of HFSS software, many design examples are given. You have to do practice. If you have installed it, go through its help menu, go through the rectangular waveguide design manuals from the software itself. You will get the guidelines, and it becomes very easier to draw your own design. Follow all these steps. So for first experiment, designing procedure, designing steps, a design formula, everything is shared with you. We are designing WR90 waveguide. The procedure is shown to you. Now we will see the results after that. Okay. This is the RF simulation designing of your rectangular waveguide. See, these are the waveport 1, and at the back surface waveport 2. Remaining 4 surfaces you have to apply the boundary condition. This is the design waveguide structure. Then these are the electric and magnetic field patterns. TE10 field pattern, TE20 field pattern. You can see that the number of electric field lines will increase. At the center, electric field intensity is the highest. It reduces towards the boundaries. It reduces towards the boundaries. This is the electric field pattern which you will see on your graphs. Then this is the 20 field pattern. 2 wave guides you got here, 1 and 2. 1 में क्या था, एक ही फील्ड पैटर्न मिलेगा तुम्हें, TE1. At the center, maximum electric field intensity. TE20 mode, these are vector. This is my E field pattern magnitude. Electric field intensity, this is the graph showing, this is the value showing volts per meter. Highest intensity is marked by colored red, then the intensity decreases by yellow, green and blue colors. So at the center I am having the maximum electric field intensity within the rectangular waveguide, and at the boundaries, at the corners, at the edges, the electric field intensity reduces. This is my E field pattern. Similarly, H field pattern, magnetic field pattern. You can see highest intensity electric field pattern. It is highest on the sides, on the center, lowest at the sides. edge field pattern. So conclusion and result: E field and H field pattern is successfully simulated for rectangular waveguide. E field is maximum in center of surface and the intensity of E field is reduced at the corners, which we have seen in the graphs. In H field pattern at center, the intensity of H field is minimum. H field is minimum and at the corners, the H field is maximum. So this is the theoretical aspect of your first experiment rectangular waveguide. So complete all these things in your copy. Start writing the experiment and if you have any doubt in this, you can ask. We have few questions also. Can you answer which of the following modes is dominant in rectangular waveguide? Can you tell me? Dominant mode in rectangular waveguide. Yes, students. T10 mode. Very good. A waveguide section in a microwave circuit will act as a waveguide section in a microwave circuit will act as which type of filter? Low pass, high pass, band pass, or band stop? So you should have a thorough knowledge of waveguides, microwave engineering, 1 and 2 both. Then only you can easily perform experiments in this lab because there is no theory subject for this lab right now in this session. What are degenerate modes? How they are characterized? Few questions. You can simplify these questions. I will share the manual with you. So if you have any doubt in theoretical concept, you can ask me. And how you will perform experiments? जो experiments हो जाते हैं उनके तुम printouts लगा सकोगे क्या फाइल में? Yes, students. Because these graphs, or you can have screenshot and prepare a writing work. You can do those who can put printouts by performing on HFS software, take the printouts and put in your file, make a PDF and upload on the Google Classroom for first experiment. Okay, theory you can write on pen paper, click photos, upload PDFs, take your very small size, and those who cannot do this, no, that is very easy na actually. SCI lab software perform karna is easy. Here it's little bit tough. So if you have performed the experiment, take its screenshots. SCI is an open source tool, beta. And have you started performing in DSP lab? And today I will try to check the assignment question number 5. So you written all the steps. Waveguide structure you can draw by hand also. If students cannot have their printouts, you can draw it by your hand. Use colorful pen, your pencil colors, sketch pens you can use to plot this field patterns in your file work. That also you can do. Printout is not necessary, you can draw it also. Or nahi, then we will see what we can do. So any doubt, student? In next class we will continue. Tomorrow we are having theory lecture. Okay, so we will wind up our class over here. Goodbye, students.